All right, let's get into it. We're going to dive into a topic that honestly goes way beyond just book smarts. We're talking about emotional intelligence. It's an idea that has totally reshaped how we think about success, our relationships, and even our own minds. We've all met someone who is absolutely brilliant, a genius even, but struggles when it comes to dealing with people, right? Well, this quote from the book that really blew this whole idea up, it just nails it. It asks a powerful question. What if there's another kind of smart that matters just as much, or maybe even more? So, what are we actually talking about here? In the simplest terms, it's about being smart with feelings. Not just your feelings, but the feelings of everyone around you. It's that ability to, read the room, to figure out why you're feeling anxious or excited, and then actually use that information to guide how you think and what you do next. And look, this isn't just some trendy buzzword. This is a real field of study with some pretty deep roots, and it forces us to challenge our old school ideas of what it really means to be intelligent. It's funny, the term feels so modern, but the idea that people skills are a type of intelligence, that's been brewing for about 100 years. It started with concepts like social intelligence way back in the 20s, got a formal name in 1990, but it was Daniel Goleman's book in 95 that made everybody, and I mean everybody, sit up and pay attention. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The experts, they don't all agree on exactly what emotional intelligence is. There are basically three different ways of looking at it. Three main models of what it's made of. So you can see the different perspectives right here. Is it a pure mental skill? Something you can actually measure like an IQ score? That's the ability model. Or is it more of a mix? A combination of skills plus personality traits like being optimistic or self-motivated? That's the mixed model. And then there's the trait model, which says, hey, this is just a core part of who you are. It's woven into your personality. Now, they all offer really valuable insights, but for now, we're going to zoom in on that first one, the original ability model. It's kind of the bedrock, and it gives us a fantastic, super clear framework for the skills we're trying to build. Think of this model like building a house. You have to start with the foundation. That first step is just perceiving emotions, in yourself, in someone's tone of voice, their expression. Once you can do that, you can start using those emotions to help you think more clearly. Then you build on that to understand more complex feelings and how they shift and combine. And finally, at the very top, you get to the most advanced skill, managing your emotions and even helping others with theirs. And this isn't just some abstract idea. Neuroscience shows us it's a real thing happening inside our heads. It's basically a constant conversation, sometimes more like a tug of war, between two parts of your brain. You've got the amygdala, which is like your instant emotional alarm system, and then the prefrontal cortex, which is like the calm, rational CEO. Having high EQ just means that conversation is happening smoothly. Okay, so we've covered the what. Now we get to the most important question, the so what. Why should you or I actually care about any of this? Well, first and foremost, in our personal lives, high EQ is directly linked to deeper empathy, having less conflict, and building more stable, fulfilling relationships. It's basically the engine that powers real connection with your partner, your family, and your friends. And at work? Oh, it's an absolute game changer. Study after study shows that the best leaders aren't just the ones with the highest IQs. They're the ones who build trust, who know how to motivate a team, who can navigate tricky group dynamics. All of that is pure emotional intelligence. And just for you personally, EQ gives you the toolkit to handle stress, to manage anxiety, to deal with setbacks. It's the skill that lets you stay calm when things get crazy and bounce back when you get knocked down. It's how you build real, lasting resilience. So here's the best part, the most crucial point of all. Thanks to this amazing thing called neuroplasticity, which is just a fancy way of saying your brain can literally change and rewire itself, you can develop your emotional intelligence. This isn't something you're just stuck with. It's a skill. And the journey always begins in the same place, self-awareness. It's the absolute foundation. I mean, think about it. You can't manage an emotion if you don't even notice you're feeling it in the first place. Here's a super simple but incredibly powerful way to start building that awareness muscle. Just pause. When you feel a strong emotion, stop. Give it a name. Okay, I'm feeling frustrated right now. Then ask, what just happened to make me feel this way? And then for just a second, observe the feeling instead of instantly reacting to it. That tiny little gap between the feeling and your action, that's where all the magic happens. That's where EQ is built. And once you have that awareness, you can start using other tools. You can practice reframing a bad situation to see it differently. You can work on active listening, not just waiting for your turn to talk, but really hearing someone out. You can genuinely try to put yourself in their shoes. You can even do something as simple as asking a trusted friend, "Hey, how do I come across to you?" The answers can be eye-opening. But hey, to give you the complete picture, we have to be real here. The whole concept of emotional intelligence, it's not without its critics. It's a fair question, right? When something gets this popular this fast, it's only natural for people to be a little skeptical. And the scientific community definitely has a healthy debate going on about it. This really lays out the two sides of the coin. On the one hand, you have this huge promise that AI can predict who will be successful and happy. But on the other hand, critics say, well, the definitions are a little fuzzy, aren't they? Or isn't this just personality by another name? And there's even a darker side, the idea that these skills could be used to manipulate people if you're not careful. So where does that leave us? I think the most balanced way to look at it is this. EQ is not a magic bullet. It doesn't replace IQ. It's a vital set of skills that works alongside it. It's not a question of EQ versus IQ. It's about how EQ and IQ work together to give us a much fuller picture of what a person is capable of. So we'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. Thinking about your own life, your career, your relationships. Of all these skills we've talked about, self-awareness, managing your feelings, empathy for others, which one, if you got just a little bit better at it, would make the biggest positive change? Because figuring that out for yourself, well, that's the first step to everything.